Hello, it's Mike at TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Forest River FR3 32 DS motorhome. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things taken into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, you're going to need to leave room for a slide and an awning. Awning's going to come out further than that slide. On your off campsite, besides your slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power or power cord can be all the way here in the rear in this last storage area, and then your water connection is going to be right in front of your tire on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. Couple things to note. First off, your key must be turned on. Got our key turned on. Come over here to the upper right and turn on. Now I'm going to hit auto. That's going to start running down my auto leveling jacks. Now what I do recommend is these run down. I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Put jack pads down underneath your stabilizing jacks. That's going to help protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, and hot blacktop in the summer. You can better distribute the weight. I'm going to sit here nice and still. This is going to go ahead and move me around a few times. When this is all level, that's going to light up in the middle here. Once our unit's level and stable, we can go ahead and hook up our power and water. So again, our power cord can run down through this hole. Big 50 amp cord. At the end of that, should you need to plug into a 30 amp, there's a 50 to 30 amp dog bone comes in your convenience pack, as well as a 30 to 15 amp reducer to go on that in case you need to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. Alright, so at campsites we're going to hook up to city water fill. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure 40 to 50 psi, protecting lines and unit. Always use this because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. City water fill. Water pressure regulator. Hose. Don't turn that hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours, I know, is located over on the campsite. And all we're doing at this point, making sure our drain plug's back in there. This will lift right up off here. Make sure the drain plug's back in there. Throw a little plumber's tape around that. Not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Plumber's tape into the 8th socket. Get that in there nice and snug. And then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now after the hose has been on for a few minutes, we're going to come up inside your unit and open up your slides. You need to open up your slides so I can get to all of your water lines. We want to open all them up and get all the air out of the lines. So come to our control panel right here, and we're going to hit out. Our living room slide here. One note on this is make sure your driver's seat is far enough forward that your slide's not going to impede it. Once that one's out, come to number 2 here. Hit out on that. And again, and once these are out, we're going to get in here. We're going to open up our water lines in the sink, in our showers, in our bathtubs. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Get all the air out of the lines. Then you know you're all set up to camp. And at that point, you could also turn on your hot water heater right here, but we'll talk about that when I come back inside. Okay, so now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to be at a campsite. We're going to go dry camping, or boondocking they like to call it. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. It'll be over here on the right. What we're going to do here though is we're going to go inside and we're going to watch the level of this tank as it's filling. Once it's full, remove your hose, put that cap on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hooked up to city water that's already pressurized. All right, we're all set up with power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit, continuing here on the docking station. Our last thing here is a black tank flush. When we dump our black and gray tanks, we'll talk about that, but that's going to wash out your black tank. Here's an access holes to be able to run hoses and water down through. Here's a hot and cold shower. This is a little docking light. Continue, so I'll start from the back here. Again, our power area, gasoline, tons of storage. That was our docking station. All of these have storage, including this one here, and then this last one toward the front on your driver's side is going to be where your propane goes in. Coming around to our campsite. Just want to mention, on your awning you have a pitch control. You can pull down on this arm and that will tilt your awning. You also have a vent for your fridge, or access panel for your fridge, a flue for your furnace. A few things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you're running your furnace, steer clear of this. It does get hot. They also sell bug guards you can put over top of those as well. We've got an outdoor TV and sound system. To get the lock and open them up. But TV here, Genesis stereo here. Starting up front here, we've got our batteries. Check the battery ports every now and then. There's our radio. Back off. TV and hydraulics for our slides. Excuse me, batteries and hydraulics for our slides. Pretty sure all of these are going to be storage. We've got our hot water heater. This is going to be an access to your water lines, so you can get in there and bypass your hot water heater when you want to winterize this. Low point drains are in this one. Here's our access panel to get in there to dump those low point drains right there. There's where we'll open them at. Quick connect LP. And more storage. What covers everything out here? Let's go take a look on the inside. So coming up inside a unit, usually the first thing I like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. To my right, as I sit here, to your left as you come in the door, is going to be a power switch for our top bunk here. We'll run that down here shortly. This is going to be your battery, house battery power to the unit. Your awning in and out on your awning. Sorry, awning in and out. On your awning, you only want to run that out until you can see that flap fall down. So you only want to run this out until that flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see your bar. If you hold that out down, that will continue to run itself out and start to run itself up backwards onto itself. So keep an eye on you when you run it out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. Also, next that's an entrance step and your awning light. That's the power for your entrance step. Bring that awning back in. And as I come in, I want to tell you that these slam locks work best when gently slammed. Alright, coming up into the unit, start turning some lights on. Our main power light is going to be right up underneath here. This also has a dimmer on it. 110 here. A lot of touchable lighting. We're going to come right in above our sofa here to our thermostat. We'll go right to cranking the air up in here. There's that. Shut that off. Well, you'll notice when I shut that off, AC shuts off rather quickly. Now if I go through and I turn it on to heat pump, or if there's either one, any heat, now when I shut that off, you'll notice it's going to take a few minutes for that fan to run through before it actually shuts down. Coming to our fridge, this is ignore cold. Turn that on. We are on auto, or AC, gas, or auto. Auto means when you're plugged in, you're running off AC. When you unplug, it'll switch to gas. There's the auto gas. Or you can simply put it on gas. Change your temperature here, 1 through 5, 5 being the coldest. Furnace intake there. Continuing our kitchen here, more one-touch lighting. Your sink. Check your plumbing every now and then. You are bouncing a house down the road, just keep an eye on things. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose. We got a self-explanatory microwave. Let me turn this light on here. We've also got a light and a fan above that cooktop. 2 levels in that. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Rock that back there. Turn on your pan light. Turn this to high. Hit your spark. And when your gas is turned on outside, these will light up in here. Now remember too that sometimes you may have to bleed these lines after you turn your gas on. Also on your oven, same thing. Turn that to light. Hit your spark here. That will light your pilot light. And then just turn it to your desired temperature. We got a television in here. Your table here will wiggle up. Remove these legs. Put your tabletop down onto these wooden pieces here. Put your back cushions on top. That'll give you another sleeping area. A little road table here. The way to set this up is turn this silver thing all the way to the left. Put it right down into this slot. And then just turn it to the right. And it locks itself right in. Flip your tabletop onto that. And cup holders down. Again, our auto leveling up here. Sound system. Basic traveling things for our Ford setup. Go ahead and run this bunk area down. Again, have that turned to on and then just hit lower. So bring that top bunk down. And lay itself level. There that is. Let's head on back down the hallway here. I'm going to turn on some more lights back here. There's a hallway light here. There's also to the right here your bedroom. I believe one. Nope, not in there. Alright, so in the hallway here, we're going to start up top with your solar controller panel. The whole purpose of this is to keep your solar panels from overcharging your batteries. Down here's our control panel. Here's where we check our gas, our brand new battery, fresh, black, and gray tanks. That freshwater button's the one I said to keep an eye on when you're filling up your freshwater tank. Once that hits full, remove that hose. Down here is your hot water heater. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you're using potable water. Here's where you can turn on your generator. Here's where you can turn on your Arctic pack. That is turning on a 12-volt pad that's on your batteries, or that's on your tanks to keep them from overcharging. This Arctic pump, that will turn on 12-volt pads that are on your tanks to keep them from freezing in inclement weather. Let's just go ahead and start that generator up. Hold that up. Usually do a little prime here. And she started up. I'll take you out and show you that. Here's our generator. We can shut that back off indoors, or turn these to the right, open this up, and stop it out here. You can also turn it on out here by holding this down until that light lights up for your prime. Then you just hit start. Put your door back on, make sure you secure that. Alright, back in our unit here. Oh, down here on the floor, there's going to be a 12-volt carbon monoxide and propane detector. Coming into our bathroom, I want to mention a few things in here. 110 with GFCI reset. Some plumbing to keep an eye on. And lastly, your shower doors. We're going to want to bring these all the way to the left and secure those for travel. We've got television here, TVs on both bunks. This bottom area can be ridden in with their seat belts on, or it can also break down into a bed. Bedroom back here, we have our own AC unit. Crank that up. Again, shut that off. 110 charging ports, lighting, touch lighting, another television. Okay, turn this one off. I should about cover everything in here. That's not like we're going to leave the campsite and close the unit up. I like to go through and secure a bunch of things. So I'm going to take your remotes and just put them where they're not going to bounce around too much. So we'll put down here in the bottom bunk. This door, lock and unlock using that little switch. So we'll close the unit up. I'm going to start shutting off lights at the back and working my way forward. I do want to mention you do have a hand crank open power exhaust in the bathroom as well. So coming forward and shutting off all the lights, I'm thinking of a few things I missed. There's a little table extension here for prep cooking. Come back to our control panel. Shut off my main lights here. Go through and shut off all accent lighting. Then I know I can come back here, turn on my main lights to see what I'm doing. Coming back to my control panel and say doors and drawers. Walk through your unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. Make sure your seating, in this case, is all the way forward. We may even have to bring that bunk up. No, I don't think so. Should be able to have the bunk down with that like that. Coming back to our control panel, I'm going to do slide room number 2 in. That's going to be back here. You see the importance of make sure nothing's in between your dresser and your bed back there. Just utilize about every inch you can. Once that's in, go over our living room one. Slide in. Got my slides in. I'm going to come back up to my driver's seat. Turn back on my key. All the way forward. Turn back on my auto leveling system. Now I'm going to hit retract all jacks. That is going to go ahead and lift all them up. Sit here and wait for them to come up. read here is telling you to wait. And we're all set. Shut them off. Shut off my power. Come back over here. I'll bring that bunk up so I don't hit my head on it again. We're just going to hit raise and it's going to fold itself up. Once that's up, I'm going to shut that key off and exit the unit. Be patient on your steps. Make sure they're out before you try to step up out of here. Shut off our awning lights, our house power. Go back up underneath here and shut these lights off. And exit the unit. If we are at, you see those didn't come up because my power step was off. Let's turn that back on. Now when I close that, there they go. If we are out at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, and head on up to the closest dump station. Now, dump station parked accordingly. Alright, we got 10-foot hose, comes with your convenience pack. Take that, come up underneath here, hook that up, and pull our black handle. Once it sounds like that's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. If it shows empty, come back out here, leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station and hook up to this black tank flush. Again, emphasizing leaving that handle open. Turn on that hose and let it run for a good 5 minutes and wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, go ahead and remove that hose. Make sure all that washout you just put in there is drained out. Close that black handle and pull your gray handle. Now while that gray is going, I have to go ahead and dump my low point drains and empty my hot water heater. So low point drains, get up underneath there, open up them caps. Hot water heater, come over here. Lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful, it's going to dump hot water out of there. When that's done, put that cap back, that top back down, otherwise your door won't go back on. Then you can pull your drain plug for your residual hot water. You want to do that if you're not going to be camping for a while. You don't want to leave all that stagnant water up in your hot water heater. All right, when our grays are done, low points are done, put the caps back on, close everything up and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this FR3 for many years to come. Happy camping.